Hello, my brothers and sisters. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is your sister, Queen Divine. Today, I have a very wonderful message for all of my viewers all over the world. The topic of today is about some African English countries. You will see some of these are African English countries. You see some youths today. They use bad English, and I'm trying to give you guys some of the reasons why some of those people use bad English when they are speaking. In Africa, the reasons some of those people in Africa, English countries, the reason they speak bad English is this. Not that they never wanted to go to school. It happened that some African parents, they will tell their children, some have male children and some girls as well. Our parents, we only want to educate, to train up the boys, because they are the ones who are going to bear their names and keep the family names. While the girls are the ones that will leave the family house to bear the names of their husbands. This was one of the reasons majority of our African fathers refused to train up their daughters. And if you see so many of those people who speak bad English, 90% or even not 100% of them are women, females. It wasn't and it isn't their fault, because their parents refused to train them up, because they are females. And then there are some also who their parents, not that they never wanted to train them up. It is because they never had money. They were not financially viable. Some of our African parents, some of them have this mindset that they have to train up all their children, male or female, and they would love to put their best. Some are very, very poor. They don't have the money. You cannot compare Africa with the Western world, where the government gives their citizens 100% of help in every sectors, help from every way. But Africa is so different. No one receives help from the government. So these are some of the reasons. And now, many of those ladies, they are now grown up. Some of them are married. Some of them isn't married. They end up using bad English. And you see people making mockeries of them. So I am trying to enlighten, to tell the world that any woman or man, any woman that is from Africa who speaks bad English, that is from any of those English-speaking countries in Africa, it isn't 80 or 90%, it isn't the fault of those people. It is because of some of the reasons I told you about. This is why they ends up not doing well in the speaking of English. So people should know this. And some people don't really know that making mockeries of those people, you guys are not helping matters. It breaks their hearts. Or you guys think it doesn't break their hearts that they never had the opportunity that some of us had from our parents? They do. They are humans. You have to put your legs in the same shoes with them. You have to sometimes think about those things. You have to think, if I never had the opportunity of going to school, wouldn't I have ended up using the same bad English? These are some of the things some of us have to put into considerations. Though I know when you listen to some of their English, it is so comic. I know it's funny, but in the other way around, we are humans. We have to have the feelings for others. After all, English is not the language of our Africans. Even in the Western world, English is not also, so many countries in the Western world, English is not also their language. So many countries in the Western world have their languages. So there are so many people from every of those countries. Some of them don't even know how to speak English. And nobody mocks them. But when it comes to Africans, we wouldn't even think that in the Europe countries, they have so many countries that is not an English-speaking country. Very few that are officially English-speaking country. Nobody makes mockeries of those other countries in the Western world where English is not their language. So, but our Africans, we are not English people. Every Africans have their dialects. Before the British came to those African-speaking countries in Africa and imposed their English language on us. You see some African countries today that speak Portuguese. And now their language, their official language now is also Portuguese language. So I see no reasons why so many African English-speaking people ends up making mockeries of our Africa English-speaking countries. Country like Ghana, it now speaks English, like Nigeria. Our official English now is English. So when you see someone from any of those countries, people start making mockeries of them that they cannot speak good English. They are not fluent in English speaking. They forgot that though our country is now officially an English-speaking country, that they should know that we have our dialects before the British came up with their English language to impose it on us. So I'm trying to let people know that we should stop. We should at least put ourselves in the shoes of those people that are not doing well in speaking English fluently. I have seen some people, and I know some personally, they can speak, they are so good, they are fluent in English speaking, but they cannot read and they cannot write. So we have different categories of those people in Africa, in these English-speaking countries in Africa. So we should put ourselves and try not to reduce. We should reduce the ways we mock others. So people should know this. You had an opportunity. You were lucky to have a great opportunity from your parents who were able to do everything to make you go to school because they know the value of education. But some parents, they also knows the value of education, but they don't have the money to ends up to take care, to support their children to school. So fathers who also have this mindset that female children should not be sponsored to school. These are the ones who, majority of those people that uses bad English, they are from those set of parents. So please, my brothers and sisters, let's try to consider some of them. As you are making mockeries of these people, as Africans, you should know, many of us grew up in Africa. We know the way everyone grew up in Africa. We know the situations of ourselves. So guys, you guys should always learn to put yourselves in any position of anyone who is going through difficulties of any type in their lives. This is my message to everyone all over the world, to all of my viewers. Please guys, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I am your sister, Queen Divine. God bless you. I love you all. Bye.